Hello, my name is James Bussey, and I'm an inventor. And what I've done this time is this is my fourth and probably, excuse me, last video that I'm going to produce. And what I'm going to do is address several of my inventions, and then I'm going to go into some questions that people have been sending me through the email, and we'll go from there. First, I want to talk about is some of my new and old inventions. One is I invented a box, small box about that big, and it goes above your TV. And what it does is block out all commercials. It takes commercials, and it's just like you clean your disc. It removes them and takes them to the end of whatever you're watching. If you're watching a news channel, if you're watching a show on TV and you want to get rid of the commercials, that's what it does. It condenses them, moves them to the rear, or you can delete them altogether. Second thing is military inventions. UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. And any sort of aircraft in the world today, they're easily to be shot down. All you have to do is make acquisition. That's the key. There's ways of making acquisition. The old concept of using missiles is kind of outdated, and sometimes people and engineers are stuck in their ways and they don't want to change. My idea is all kinetic, and I have proven that it can work and will work with my inventions to shoot down UAVs. But that's another thing we'll talk about. Brassless rounds for the military. There's no reason to have using small round ammunition using brass, like 9mm 45, 5.56, 7.62. Get rid of the brass. You don't need that stuff anymore. That's all outdated. Again, it's an old era that we need to get rid of. I could save 30 to 40% in weight just by getting rid of the brass. Another thing is I've been working on is I invented a vice. It looks like a large drum. It goes to the bottom of the ocean. It works off hydrokinetic power, and you place it. My first place I wanted to do was in Monterey, California. You place it at the bottom of the ocean. From the pressure of the water on the extremity of the drum itself will apply pressure to force water up to the surface. I call it my model 4666. Why 4666? It's my 46 different model until I actually perfected it, and it has 66 moving parts. So it's 46.6 model, large drum, goes to the bottom of the ocean. Right now, Monterey is trying to set up a desalination plant off of Monterey to save millions of dollars in water processing. This can help that process extremely. You use a lot less energy, and you're allowing the pressure at the bottom of the ocean to force the water up through the pipes. Solve that problem. Pigment cream. I came up with an idea one day. Everybody's concerned about being white, black, Hispanic, brown, yellow, orange, green, purple skinned, whatever. And I figured out to take a pigment screen and you rub it all over your body and change the color. And it'll last for about 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. And if it would be black, it'd be black, it'd be white. Wouldn't that confuse everybody? That'd be a blast. Today you're white, tomorrow you're black. And then the next day you want to be Hispanic, brown skin, or Asian, or whatever color skin you want. Flip-flop, come in multiple colors. Movies. I'm not really crazy about the fact that Hollywood is actually taking movies and reproducing them over and over again. Movies from the past, they redo them, like the Magnificent Seven. Good movie, redoing it. And it's kind of like taking a work of art and saying you could do it better or as good. Maybe, maybe not. But one movie I like to see is, there's a movie called Scaramouche, done with Stuart Grange. I like to see Johnny Depp as that. I also like to see, I put in my last video that I like to see Brad Pitt as Harvey. And I've been pushing that through Hollywood for the last 20 years, trying to get somebody to make that picture. And Steven Spielberg all of a sudden says he came up with this idea. Right, Steve, you came up with the idea. Another real-time TV. I would like to take famous Hollywood movie stars or celebrities of any sort and take them to the average citizen's home and spend the night. Now, wouldn't that be a gas? You open up the door, Angelina Jolie's standing there saying, "Hey, I'm here for the evening." And they get to film it and all the fun you guys get to have together. Of course you check out who the people are, make sure they're not crazies. But not upper middle class, not rich, but I'm talking about middle class and maybe even poor. Why not? I mean, you people in Hollywood and those who are famous in our society are just sucking in the millions and billions of dollars and living the good life, as in monetary issues and fame. I'm not sure if that is the good life or not, but just an idea for a new type of series on TV. Take maybe a famous movie star to somebody's house. Now here are some of the questions that people have been sending to me. And I'm a person who likes to get to the point. You know how you put something on TV or on the internet and you have somebody talks, and they talk for like an hour and a half before they get to their point? Or the news media likes to sit there and says, oh, by the way, we found the Loch Ness Monster. Next, at the next showing, we'll show it to you. And you have to stay on the television, stare at it for the next hour to figure out what they're talking about, and it was nothing. Yeah, that's typical, right? Bait and switch is what I call it. Okay, here's some of the questions. Who do I think will the next president be? Don't know. I don't look into crystal balls. Who do I want to be? That's none of your all's business. That's the great thing about voting. I don't have to tell anybody. I don't have to put a sign on my front yard saying who I'm going to vote for. And I wish more Americans would do that. I wish more people would shut up about the presidency, especially the media. You can't even get any news anymore unless it's overwhelming. They could sensationalize it and make money off of it. No offense against the media. Don't take that wrong. But I like to hear about the news. And the local news is starting to do the same thing. Sensationalize. Get you hooked on their shows. It's getting old, folks. Very old. So who the next president will be? I don't know. What does the future store for our economy? Well, the problem with our economy today is our debt. Now, if you can't understand it, I'll draw it up for you real quick. Okay, imagine this is your credit cards. Okay, each credit card, you have, say, $100,000. And you've maxed them out. And you have to pay $100 a month. Follow me? Now, what happens? You say, well, I want more stuff. We got to have more stuff. So you get 3 more credit cards. And you max them out. But guess what? You can't make the payments. And all of a sudden, all these payments that you're making $100 a piece ends up to $300, and that's $600, and that's all the money you have. Then if an emergency occurs, you're going to print more money and more money and more money. The people at the top are getting rich off this and are loving it. Do we have an actual debt? Yes, we do. Can we pay it off? Sure we can. And anybody tells you we can't are lying to you. Our economy, our country is extremely rich. And you can just look at all the politicians that are getting rich off this. And you look at all the people in the media and the presidents and the corporations. They're making millions, folks. They're billionaires. They've got so much money they don't know what to do with it all. And then they say, oh, the jobs are doing much better now. We got jobs everywhere. Well, guess what? We don't. They're low-paying, low-skilled jobs, and those who have any skill have dropped out. They are not working anymore. They're living off their 401ks, hoping they can make it to retirement. There's thousands and thousands of those people. I'm not going to get into that anymore. That's enough of that. Do I believe Jesus is coming soon? Okay, folks, let's get something straight real quick now. If you have a pastor out there you're going to see at a church, and if he says that by all the signs Jesus is coming very soon, don't listen to him. Get up out of that church, walk out, and never walk back in again. Because Jesus said himself, I quote, "Watch out that you are not deceived, for many will come in my name, claiming I am he, and the time is near. Do not follow them." Okay, that's Jesus Christ's words. Luke 21:8. Okay? Now they're saying we just need to watch for the times and all these special things. The world's coming to an end, all this other stuff. They've been saying that for thousands of years, folks. Yes, can an asteroid hit? Possible. Can we start a nuclear war and kill each other off? Yes. Is it happening? No. So don't listen to these quacks out there. And they are quacks. Okay? Enough of that. We get close to an economic collapse. I've already covered that pretty much. Should we address cancer? Cancer is a nasty thing. What's it being caused by? Well, that's quite simplistic. Nobody wants to talk about it, but I'll tell you. Everything we have and we're involved in our society today has chemicals in it, all types of chemicals. They're adverse to the human body. We're putting it in our food, we're putting it in our colognes, our perfumes, we're putting it in our hair shampoos, it's being washed off by cars, lead contamination, arsenic, cadmium, all types of things. Are we getting exposed to this? Yes. If you live around agriculture, do they spray things? Yes, they do. Defoliage kills off plants. It has no impact on us. Modification of human growth hormones and modification of plants. What's that doing to the insects? The insects, like bees, they pollinate, they spread. Come on, folks, it doesn't take the smartest people on the planet know that if all these things are happening and nobody's doing anything about it, we got a problem. Again, we have leaders in leadership positions that are good, but a lot of them, their hands are tied, and they can't get along. So this is what I feel we should do. If the President, the Senate, the Congress, and the Supreme Court, If they cannot agree on the proper things to take care of us as human beings in the United States of America, we should do away with them. Get rid of them all, every one of them. I'm not saying overthrow the government, I'm saying vote them out. And as for the Supreme Court justices, since when do you have the right to dictate from the bench? Since when? That's not your role. You're to interpret the law. And you sit there and say, okay, well, the law says no. You are interpreting the law itself to turn it into a law that you're going to interpret. It doesn't make any sense. That's not your job. That's not the way the Supreme Court was developed. That's not where it was put in place. Enough of that. How's the work ethics in the United States? The same it has been since the beginning of the Revolutionary War when we formed this country. Anytime capitalism's been involved and money to be made, you're going to have a problem with ethics. And that's a long subject, and I don't want to get into it, but do we have problems in this country? Yes, we do. Is our military out of whack? That's a weird question to ask. I think our discipline has dropped a lot. I think our military is a reflection of our own society. Back in the 70s, 80s, there was a congresswoman out of Colorado who kept pushing her issues apart about certain things for certain peoples. If you're married, you get divorced, and you have to give a certain amount of money to your wife. Well, I think that was important, and I think it's just the right thing. Pat Schrader was her name. I think that was very important. But you get a problem with that. It's not universally spread throughout our entire society. And she only put down in the military because the military can't stand up for itself. It won't. So it's just like it's constantly a target for all left or right-wing groups of what they're going to do. But our military is way too small. There's too many threats around the world, and if we got pulled into 2 or 3 moderate conflicts around the world, we'd have a major problem. Major problem. The conflicts in Iran and Iraq have been low intensity. I'm sorry, yeah, a lot of people died and it was horrible. A lot of people died and been injured. It's horrible. But it's still low intensity, folks. We lost more soldiers in the Battle of Iwo Jima than we did all of Iraq and Afghanistan put together. So, well, I'm not trying to compare it anyway. I'm just letting you know that it's low intensity. If we get to moderate intensity, you're going to see 50 to 100,000 people dying a year, not over a 10-year period. And if high intensity, you know the deal there. We'll be losing hundreds of thousands a month. So we'll go on with that. Is the majority of oil in the USA? Yes, there's vast amounts of oil in the Appalachians. Everybody knows it. It's been in Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania for years. Millions of metric liters of oil. But we don't want to tap into that. We don't want a bunch of, I'm being facetious here, of course, a bunch of hillbilly RFDs and hillbilly Jed Clampetts going around being multi-majors. We can't have that happen. But yeah, there's plenty of oil in the Appalachians. Who am I going to vote for? I already covered that. Does the USA give enough to charity? This country gives more money to charity than any other country in the world. Not only are we giving money to charities in our country, we give countries the amount of money we give the amount of money we give to charity in this country is equivalent to most GMPs in most countries around the world. We're the most giving country in the world. And then they turn around and they put these things on TV where they sit there and they milk you for more. Why? Because the 7 deadly sins. They throw that guilt at you, right? That you need to give more and more and more. How about this, folks? How about take care of your families, take care of your bills, get right with God, either you're a Christian or Jews or Muslims or whatever. Learn how to be peaceful and loving each other. All this stuff that's going on is a bunch of garbage and it's being sensationalized by the media. And it's really still going to get old. How do I feel about corporations today? They're out to make money. You don't want to get me started about the corporations. Do I believe in a black hole? Okay, that's a weird question. Yes, there is black holes out there. Do I believe they are dimensions between two known? No, I don't believe in that at all. I believe these black holes are not actually holes itself. I believe they're solid masses. They're moving through space. And I think it's physicists trying to generate non-beliefs. I'm starting to worry about how some of our people become educated. They're watching too many Star Wars movies, or they're coming up with too much stuff. But there is no such thing as, I don't think, let me correct that real quick. There is a black spheres they're going through that's caused by suns collapsing and their masses turning into a mass and they start to spin off. It's the same way if you ever watch a tornado or a dirt devil, same thing will happen. It'll turn into a mass and it'll spin off. As for these going from one dimension to the next through a black hole, yeah, fantasy bill. You can't even get accurate pictures of these things far away. That's a lot of stuff to cover in a short period of time. But yeah, this is going to be probably my last video. I don't think I'm going to be making any more. Not enough people are listening. They glance through this, and I get a couple hits here and there. A couple people that are extremely intelligent send me some questions that are not bad. But overall, America, you get a lot of problems. And no one's addressing these problems. Because why? Everybody's fighting over the big piece of pie. This is the United States budget. Everybody wants a piece of the pie of Washington, D.C. And those who have the biggest mouths get the biggest slices. Do they need it? Probably not. But that's what's happening. And it's destroying our country. Instead of getting along, whites, blacks, hey, get along. Love each other. Quit fighting over things. Cops, quit whipping out your guns too quick. And people, if you come up to a police officer and he turns his light down, roll down your windows, turn off your car, put your hands on the steering wheel and be nice about it, he's petrified. Most cops are nowadays. You wouldn't believe how many cops are being shot at today. And on the other side, cops, take it easy. Relax. If you feel like there's something wrong, don't approach them too quickly. Ask them to get out of their car. Ask them to relax. Do whatever you have to do. Don't shoot people, okay? Not cool. Yeah, but now if a person pulls out a gun, starts shooting back, and you shoot them and kill them, oh well, they've asked for it, okay? Most countries around the world, like in Honduras and many countries around the world, you pull out a gun at a police officer down there, they'll kill you, throw you off the side of the road, and if somebody family doesn't come and get you, too bad. They don't care. That's what most countries in the world. Policy in Germany, you try this stuff, they'll beat you almost to death with clubs. And they don't care. And most countries, most countries don't really give a damn about your civil rights. So we're a grateful nation, we're a good nation, we need to start getting along. And quit allowing the media to sensationalize everything that they get their hands on. It's destroying us. It's got to stop. So, peace be with you. God bless. Those who are religious, those who are atheists, hey, enjoy your time here. And thanks for listening to my video.